everyone, welcome to the first episode of Into the Life of a PK here on Royal Generation TV with your girl Nyumbere. So today we have an amazing guest. He's going to introduce himself. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Edward Moore Gandhi. I'm a second born in a family of 5. I'm currently a student at the Technical University of Kenya.
Yeah.
Pursuing a bachelor's degree in accounting.
Oh, nice.
And Niko single.
He's single. Single ladies. Anyway, so Edward, kindly tell us, were you born a PK, or when you've already grown up, it's a time that you found out that your parents wanted to be pastors?
Yeah, I'll say I was born in a preacher's family. My father was a preacher even before we were born, but he was ordained to ministry when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So how has life been for you as a PK? Because I know we have so many things that we have the society has so many standards that has set for a pastor's kid to live up to. So what has been your experience as a pastor's kid?
Wow, my experience, I'll say one of the things we encounter as pastors' kids, I think it's stereotypes. Let me begin with stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yes, the way people expect us to behave, the way people expect us to talk,
Yeah.
the way people expect us to
Dress.
maybe interact,
Yeah.
dress.
Yeah.
And I think that creates a lot of pressure on us.
That's
you
true.
see?
That's
so
true.
let me give this an example. You find as a pastor's kid,
Yeah.
there is a way that people will expect you to behave.
Yeah.
Just to be a preacher
I
like
know.
your father, be a worshiper like
And
your
then
father.
they forget that we are not the one who received the calling. We
Exactly.
are not the one who have been called. Yeah.
Yes, that's the point they miss.
Yeah.
So I believe as a pastor's kid, people expect us to behave in certain ways,
Yeah.
carry ourselves in that certain ways,
Yes.
and this puts a lot of pressure in pastors' kids.
Yeah.
And you find that in our try and an attempt to
Yeah.
fit,
Yes.
some of us fail.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And
That's
and
true.
this creates a lot of pain and a lot of pressure on us, and when you accumulate all these things in your mind,
Yeah.
as a pastor's
Yeah.
kid, you will not make it at all.
That's true. That's true.
That's
So you've talked about stereotypes, right? So just tell me some of the stereotypes that you had to, try to fit in, so that you don't embarrass your parents. Like growing up as a PK while you were in school. Did you go to a boarding school?
Yeah.
Now, just tell me some of the expectation that you think the society had put there up for you to live up to, right?
Yeah.
And then, but you personally, as a child, you found that you cannot, and it is too much for you. Just tell us some of the things that you had to go through.
Yeah, I'll begin from my high school life. Some of the things that people expect us as pastors' kids is, number one, let me begin with dress code.
Yeah.
Dress code. You find that pastors' kids people expect us to be on time, to be sharp, and now you see in our contemporary world,
Yeah.
in our generation,
Yeah.
you are most likely not to feel so comfortable
That's
when
true.
you look so official, when your friends
Yeah.
are a little bit casual.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
imagine, take it funny, people, even we are going for a retreat, we are going for a fun day, then all of a sudden you are on a sharpshooter, just because people expect you to be that
Now
way.
you look like your dad exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And this puts a lot of pressure on people, and they feel
that's true.
like I don't want even to be mentioned as
That's
a
true.
pastor's
That's true.
kid, you see?
Yeah. Before we go on, have you ever in your life felt like, I wish I was not a pastor's kid because of the pressure?
That one happens.
Yeah.
Number one, I'll say this one. In the issue of being born again,
Yes.
in the issue of getting salvation.
Yeah.
I remember a time I had an urge to give myself my life to Christ.
Yeah.
at the age of I think 10 years
Wow.
to 14 years.
Yes.
But I strangled the thought because
Yeah.
I didn't want my father even to know that I'm born again. Number
Yeah,
one, I
yeah.
said that I was born in a family and in a society.
Yeah.
The men who are called men of God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, but it was the reality. Like they looked somehow outdated and,
Yeah,
and
I
not up to the
know.
standard.
I know.
I used to feel I don't want to be even
I don't
mentioned
want-
with pastor's
yeah,
kid because
yeah, that's
it
true.
sounds like I'm also being initiated into their life. And
That's
so
true,
at
that's
some point
true.
I felt like this is too much for me, and
Yeah.
I will not be I would not want to be associated with some like people who look
Yeah.
like failures, and
Yeah, that's true.
and I never wanted my father to know that I'm born again until
Wow.
I went to high school. And I remember in my
So
first
wait a minute. Why didn't you want your father to know that you were born again?
I didn't even to know that because there is a way that people, like in our society, when you just say that you're born again and you
Yeah.
are young, people look, hata wewe umetupa mbao.
Yeah.
And I used to feel like, but I think I'm destined for something bigger.
Yeah.
And so I felt my father should not know.
Oh, now maybe you had the fear that if he knows, he's going to start asking you to be like very, very active in church.
Exactly,
Or something.
things like lead worship,
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
can you facilitate the
Yeah,
Sunday school thing
uh-huh.
and maybe take a session when he's not around. And I
Yes.
felt no, this one I don't.
You don't want that.
Want that.
Wow, okay.
Until now, until I went to Form 1, and when I joined Form 1, my first thing was that I get born again because my father not know that I'm born
No.
because he did ordain me to this thing.
Yes,
and so
yes.
and that's how I got born again. And I thank God I have grown.
Oh yeah. So, but there is usually this misconception that as pastor's kid we usually have. Okay, growing up myself, I knew that I was born again like by default, right? What can you tell some of the pastor's kids out there who think that like being born again is by default because our parents are born again?
Wow, that's a best question.
I
That's a
know.
good question. I think being born in a family, not that I was born in a preacher's family,
Yeah.
I had that misconception
Yeah,
too. That
that's true.
automatically I can lead this thing, I can
I
sing,
know.
and I feel that I'm born again.
Yeah.
And that misconception, I think, if not addressed well,
Yeah.
then it may lead to tragic effects.
that's
And
true.
this kind of misconception, I think PKs need to understand that the issue of salvation is a personal issue. The Bible says
that's
that
true.
Christ died for me,
Yes,
not
not
us.
us.
We don't have to generalize it. So
Yeah.
Jesus Christ died for me, and the Bible says, I think in the Romans 10:9 that we receive salvation by believing in our hearts and
Yeah,
confessing in our
that's
mouth. So this thing is personal.
Yeah.
If PKs out there, if you're born in a pastor's kid and you found your parents or preachers, please, you need to understand that as you grow. Let me put this
Yes,
kind
it's
of
okay, it's
point.
okay, it's okay.
I think there's a level, there is an age that our parents' grace carries.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
So there is this certain age when you reach that you have to take responsibility of your
Of
life,
your own- on your own.
right?
Yeah, that's
Even in
true.
the matters of salvation.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if you're out there, you don't remember the day you're giving your life to Christ, then I came to tell you the truth is
Yeah.
you need to give your life to Christ
Yeah,
at a
that's true.
personal level because this issue is personal.
That's true. Now, for me growing up, when I went to a boarding school, I had two lives. At school, I had to behave this way, but when I go home,
You're different.
I was completely a different person. Could you say that you had the same experience?
I'll say my work has been different.
Yeah.
Immediately I got born again. I think in my first year in high school,
Yeah.
I was not that much
Yeah.
I was not focusing my concentration on the things of God.
That's true, that's
I just want to be that kijana hapo chini ya
Hapo chini ya maji.
And then I grew up, and I remember coming home and still having that pressure because
Yeah,
you
that's
see,
true,
you
that's true.
You remember I told you that I didn't want my parents to know
Yeah,
that
I
I'm born
know,
again.
I
So
know.
nika-
Unajiweka hapo kwa cocoon.
Hapo
You don't
kwa
want,
cocoon.
utaki kutoka kwa closet.
Exactly. But
know.
as you
You
sometimes it depends with intentionality. If
Yeah.
you're born again and you're intentional about your growth with God, then when as you grow, you realize that okay, these are some of the things I have to drop, right? So I remember that time I also had the same experience coming home and
Yeah,
interacting
I
and
know.
hiding myself and not wanting people to know that this is the real Edward.
Yeah.
I still had the same experience.
Now, just tell me. Imagine you were not a PK. You're not a preacher's kid.
Yeah.
Would you say that your life would be any different?
Exactly, it would be totally different.
Yeah, please.
There's a way. I think personally there is a way music rhymes with me.
Yeah.
There's a way just this thing resonates with me, and if I were not born again, and if we're not a pastor's kid,
yeah.
I think I'll be out there doing secular music and doing
Wow.
good dance halls.
Yeah, that's true.
But now that I got born again, and this is one of the advantages that I got as a pastor's kid.
Yeah, that's
that environment and all that thing of just being in closets of being in a preacher's family.
Yeah.
There are things that you restrict yourself, and as well there are opportunities that you will get, and
That's
these
true.
opportunities have
Yeah.
given you opportunity to grow
Yeah.
and even to refocus my focus. I'll tell you, before I was born again, I used to do good dances. I was a dancer.
I know. I remember.
But
Yeah.
now, as I grew and I've changed my focus. Yeah.
So basically, you can say that being a PK really influenced your growing up and molded you to be the person that you are
Exactly.
today.
Greatly.
Okay.
Greatly.
So just tell me, just look at the camera and just encourage someone, a PK out there who thinks that it is a burden. It is a burden to be a PK, because out there I've told you, the society has some standards that has put there, and we have to live up to them. And sometimes we find ourselves, we cannot do this thing. Just tell them, because I know that they are there out there, and they feel like manze, mimi nimechoka, I cannot do this, but manze, I cannot live up to the standards that the society has put up there for me to live up to.
Yeah, I'll learn to encourage the PKs out there. I know there are a lot of stereotypes and expectations that people expect us to move in, and one of the things that they expect us to work in is like to be the photocopy of our parents.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
expect us to be
A protege.
flashy,
Yeah.
to be outgoing,
Yeah, that's
to
true.
be social with people.
Yeah.
And this disparity, you see, you have to understand as a pastor, even if you are an introvert, then just by the position you've been given, then you will have to change
That's
to be
true.
an extrovert, to reach people, to be
that's
social
true.
to people.
That's true.
And now people expect us to carry the same personality.
I know.
Understand that we have a disparity in what?
Yeah.
In character and in ambitions.
Yeah.
And so I like to tell a PK out there that it's not a must to be like your father.
That's true. That's
Just
true.
the only thing that I can tell you is that take the basics of being born
being in a PK.
being a PK. There are things that you expected, and then just focus on your dream, but be a representative of God in the place you are. If you are in music,
that's true.
Be there and
Represent Christ.
represent
That's
Christ.
true.
If you are in sports, if you are in photography, please take an advantage, walk in the fullness of your purpose, but make sure that you represent God in that place. You don't have to be a worshiper, you don't have to be a preacher. So you don't have to be like your father. You don't have to be a worshiper. You don't have to be a preacher.
That's true.
In the field that the Lord has talented and gifted you in, walk into the fullness of it, but be a representative of God right there. If they look for a girl who knows God,
that's true.
they'll let them call you. If they remember a boy who preaches, if they find a man who walks in the fullness of God in that place, let them find you.
That's true. Now, I usually wonder, why don't we have something like doctors' kids, teachers' kids, and all that? Do you have a story that you can share that really made you feel like, I wish I was not a PK? Like, this story would have been different if I was not a PK. Yeah.
I remember a story.
Yeah.
The story happened when I was very young. I remember I was in class 4.
Yeah.
And then I don't like to share this story.
I know,
but it
it's
changed
okay.
my life, and I can share it openly, anywhere and anyhow. So it is this class in class 4.
Yeah.
I remember me and my friend, there was a friend who came. Outside the school there was a certain canteen, and people used to buy chapatis, and they come. So I remember one day a boy, one of my classmates, came in with the chapatis, and me and my friend, we planned.
Ati ni kumtoka.
Acha tumtoke huyo jamaa. So, and we took the chapatis and immediately we rushed to the latrines. Imagine. And then we're latrine and planning how we shall feast on this stuff.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the one of the chapatis realized,
Akakuja.
chapatis
Kumeenda,
imepotea.
zimeenda,
Then all of a sudden kuangalia nani hayuko. Then all of a sudden they came straight to the latrine.
Wow.
It was
Ni
even
kama
they knew where we
walikuwa
were.
wameongozwa.
Bwana.
Wow.
And then they found us planning, and they got hold of us.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't even take us to the office. No. They called friends. They called friends. They mowed at us.
Wow.
They laughed. They embarrassed us. And
Oh no.
that is one time I wished they could have beaten me.
I know.
And left me alone. Than just
You
knocked
felt
me.
like-
I felt it. And not, for Timo, it was not that hard because
Yeah.
Timo was not a pastor's kid.
Yes.
So it was up to me, like, you people pretend you are the you pretend too much that you are holy and you are this and
Wow.
this and I felt, guy, this one. And I remember my sister standing beside me and crying. And I remember that thing caused a lot of pressure
that's true.
on my brother and sister who were at school. And so everyone could mock my brother, could mock my sister on the
they
basis
will
of
be like,
what I did.
they'll be like, you are pastor's kid and you're behaving this way and all that.
And huwezi iba kitu ya maana.
Huwezi-
Unaiba tu chapo. And I remember going home and my sister shared the story to my mom, and mom sat down with me and said, what's the problem?
Yes.
Is it the food I'm not providing for you
Yeah,
people?
yeah, that's
What's the
true.
problem?
Yeah.
And I remember I could not even talk. And I watched,
Hukuwa na answer, so ungesema nini?
hadi singesema kitu.
Ungesema nini?
And I watched my mom cry and cry. And I remember mom told me one thing,
Yeah.
Edward, remember I'm in class 4, he told me this word, and this word I'll tell you
As
that they
ne-
have
as
modeled
she-
my
yeah.
life to today.
Yeah.
He should tell me, in this life, salvation is personal.
Yeah.
And you choose the life you want to be
That's
in.
true.
So go ahead, be a robber,
Yeah.
be a preacher, be a what.
Yes.
It is up to you. You choose what to be. And I
That's
remember those words sunk in the deep of me. And up to today, those words have been my directive.
Yeah.
And for me, that is one of the stories I felt like, I wish I weren't a pastor's kid.
That's
Because
true.
if I weren't, then this story would have
That's
faded.
true. That's true, because you say that your friend was not like profiled. You know, basically, it's like they profile us because we are pastor's kids,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, wewe unafai kufanya hivi, wewe ufai kufanya hivi. But like, you know, that is a perfect example of stereotypes, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Like, and the standards that the society has put for us to live up to, right? Because if you are both of you, why didn't the other guy get, you know, ridiculed and all that? You understand?
I understand.
So basically, as living as a pastor's kid, we are usually profiled. You understand? Because like they don't expect us to but we deserve a normal life like any other kid.
That's the point that I wanted even to emphasize
Yeah.
on, that we are prone to the youthful words,
Exactly.
passions, and to the youthful traps and
That's true,
pitfalls.
that's true.
And now all this pressure on us,
Yeah.
I have seen pastors' kids whose self-esteem have been destroyed.
Yeah.
They cannot collect their lives once again.
Wow.
They got broken by, maybe in one or the other. I'll say this one openly. Maybe they expect us, and I know this is obvious, but in one or the other, Bible says that everyone is prone to sin.
That's
right?
true, that's
we have
true.
all fallen
We are
and short of the glory of God.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
and we can fall into anything. We can fall into these traps. And even I believe that it's we pastors' kids who are even at a higher place of suffering these
You
days.
know, because you know we usually fight battles that are not meant for us.
Exactly.
Because the devil is attacking us. You know, you understand. You know, there's a time that my mom told me that the devil, kama hawezi fikia the parents, he'll go through the children.
The children.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now we did not ask for us to be pastor's kid,
That's
right?
one thing, we didn't choose it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think people out there need to liberate us.
Yeah, that's
and
true. And
Liberate
just
us and
let us be.
Let us be.
That's true.
Like, yes, I'm a pastor's kid,
Yeah, that's
but I'm not disinfectant of the things that other people are going
that's
through,
true,
right?
that's true.
So if I have a character failure, please, instead of mooing at me
Pray for
and
me.
ridicule me, please
Pray
pray
for
for
me.
me.
That's true.
Because even, you see, as a pastor's kid, there are things that our pastor do. Maybe
That's true.
Bible says that pastors will what? And men of God will cast out demons. And this thing, when they are,
Of course,
when they are,
it's called counterattack. I usually experience those when let's say when my parents have gone for a mission or something, and then people get born again. You know, the devil is going to come back, not on them, but on the kids.
on the kids.
That's true.
On
That's
the kids.
true.
And so these things affect us, and when they affect us, people feel like, no, it was your fault.
It was your fault.
It was
I
your fault, and you
know.
were like, oh God. And so if you see I have a weakness as a pastor's kid,
Yeah.
please pray for me. Even I'll tell this one, even pastors sometimes they don't have time to pray for us.
That's true, because they are praying for
They are
other
praying
people.
for you people.
I understand.
And
I
then now when this
understand.
thing counteract and counterattack us,
Yeah.
then you are there and you're ridiculing us
Yeah,
and
that's
putting
true.
all this pressure on
That's
us. Please, if you find a weakness in a pastor's kid,
That's true.
pray for
For
that
them.
kid.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are normal.
We are normal. Exactly.
We did not ask for this. You understand?
Yeah.
But we found ourselves in that place. Yeah. So they should not profile us. That is what I'm trying to say. So what really inspires you to minister?
Wow. I'll say that I'm a worshiper and I'm a word minister.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those are the things I specified on.
Yeah.
And what inspires me, one of the things I'll say is that
Now I want you to base your inspiration. I want you to base your thoughts on being a PK.
being a PK.
Yes.
Yeah, being a pastor's kid. One of the things I'll say that motivates me to
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing is I'll say this openly. I don't know how to find you, but my father
Yeah.
didn't go to higher level of education.
Oh, yeah.
And with that in mind,
Yes.
I have seen him. You see, with that in mind, you expect him just to be average.
Yeah,
and,
that's
and,
true.
and that's all him.
Aishi tu
But
hapo,
I've seen
yeah.
my father pick his life up,
Yeah.
reschedule everything
Yeah.
through reading of a book
Yeah.
and reading of books.
Wow.
A book being in the Bible and
Yes.
books
The
being
books. Oh, there is a book and,
and
the
books.
book. Okay, there is the book and books.
Books.
Okay,
Yes.
that's new. Yeah.
There are books and there are book and I've seen my father transnight reading the Bible.
Yeah.
And if I'll take a story of self-development or if I choose a book on self-development, then I'll not choose a book, I'll choose the life of my father. I have seen him turn his life up down
Yeah.
and reading of books that have changed his life,
Yeah, that's
and through the change of his life then we have got that information
Yeah.
and our lives has been transformed through.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll go to my father's library and I look at the books he read
Yeah.
and I'm convinced
Yeah.
this is the reason
Yeah.
his life has changed.
Yeah, that's
and so I'm also very passionate
Yeah.
about reading of books and preaching. Reason being, I have seen this thing.
It's like a testimony.
That
You
is a
have seen
testimony.
a living testimony out of this.
Out of that,
Yeah.
our family is one of the family that was expected to be one of the poorest and one of the
yeah.
most defeated families,
Yeah.
but through the word, through that, number one, reading of that book and reading of books,
Yeah.
and then delivering and pouring you out for the sacrifice of others.
Yeah.
Then I have seen our family be restored. Favor of God and the grace of God have located us and have brought us this far.
Wow,
I'll say this with a lot of
amen.
fear. That if it were not for Christ,
Yeah, that's
if it
true.
were not for the sacrifice that
Yeah,
my
your
parents have
parents,
taken
that's
to
true.
serve God, then
That's true.
I would not even have come to this level.
That's true.
Because actually, if I be true about it,
Yeah.
then I don't see the reason I am this place. But
That's true.
but looking back, I can
The
see the grace of
favor,
God. I can see the favor of God. And
God.
I remember there is a person. I think there's this quote that says that. The only way to collect your life, or the only way to get your life back,
Yeah.
is to give
Give
it
it.
into
That's true.
sacrifice or in the service of others.
Yeah.
And I have seen my father give his life out for the service of others, and I've seen it bring back.
That brings me to this question. Growing up, did you feel that sometimes your parents sacrificed much at the expense of your family?
Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
That is, okay, I'll not say it is a thought. I think that's the reality.
That's the reality.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes our parents take too much
Much
time
into the ministry. Yeah,
ministry,
that's true.
and they forget that they have family
Yeah,
issues too.
yeah.
There are times I feel like, Dad, you've given too much
Yeah.
to the people. Sometimes it takes. I remember even in the Bible, in the time of Moses, there's a time Moses went and prayed and prayed and
Yeah,
prayed and came
yeah.
back and went again and prayed, and they're like, hey, this Moses who brought us out of Egypt, this
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
is no more.
Yeah.
And they felt, no more. Aaron, can you make us something else?
Yes.
And so sometimes we as pastors' kids, we go through that as well. Sometimes we feel that our parents are giving too much
Too
into
much,
the
that's
ministry,
true, that's
and
true.
we feel like we are left back.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, anything can happen at that time.
That's
but the
true.
grace of God carries us
Yeah, has
through.
carried us
There are
through.
times where your parents will be in missions all through. Even after mission, they come, they are again into crusades again. They are in fasting when
Yeah,
you feel
that's
like
true.
you have too limited time
With your parents. You
and
don't
feel-
get that time to
yeah,
bond with your
you don't get that
parents.
time with your parents,
Yeah.
and that sometimes creates a lot of problems.
yeah, that's
So
true.
as pastors' kid, you need to reschedule. But I think with this understanding,
Yeah.
that's why they are doing this. Then
Yeah.
you can fix and create time for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Okay,
So make
okay.
sure that you are the one creating time. Like, but then
Yeah.
you know what?
Kama unaenda mission twende
Kimo.
pamoja.
Twende
Let's
pamoja.
let's bond there.
Let's bond
That's
there.
amazing.
And so maybe you love time with your
Yeah,
parents,
that's
right?
true. That brings me to another question that most of the Ushago, right? Most of the pastors are usually termed poor. And then watu wanasema stories za mbona na serve God na bado wako hivi and all of that. What do you think? Why do you think that people would say that?
I think
Because you are a pastor's kid and you know what happens in the house. Nini nje ya mlango unajua what really happens. Yeah.
I think that pastors being not financially privileged,
yeah.
I think it's not their fault.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll not say that it's not their fault.
No, I want you to put it that. I want you to make it clear to people to stop saying that pastors are poor and all that. Because we have been living in those houses and we know that they sacrifice, like financial sacrifice inapelekwa church. Because beginning church akunanga mtu anakujanga kukusaidia kujenga nini nyumba ya Bwana. Yeah.
So most of the finances, as you just said, some
right.
of the finances are directed
to the church.
Yeah. And so sometimes I'll give this a personal, like a testimony in our family. I remember my father saying it again and again that he will not build a palatial home when the house of God is in ruins.
See?
And with that kind of philosophy and thinking, then you can't.
Hapa unajua tu hapa, okay, acha nitulie kwa sababu ashasema. And they never go back to their own words.
That's one of the characteristics of men of God that are unchanged. So if he decides that way, then you can't hurry it, and you cannot come and judge us on what we have not achieved.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
most of the time the finances are directed into the church, and sometimes we feel like we are not that much. If I remember my father telling, if I don't do this what I'm doing for God, then it's better I give it to God and come back later than just to give and dump it on you people.
That's
and then the work of God is in ruins.
Imesimamishwa.
The thing that comes out is that pastors prioritize the work of God.
That's true.
That is their first priority.
Yeah, that's true.
That's most of the times their first priority. So if you feel that we are poor and that, I think we need to understand right. You need to understand that right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it all for today. But before we wrap it up, so just tell me, I know we have there are so many stereotypes and we've already talked about that, right? But I want you to just encourage someone, like the benefit that you have really acquired and the benefit that you've had just because you're a pastor's kid.
Wow. Let me begin with what I'm gifted in.
Yes.
Like if I never got an opportunity to sing, maybe I would not even discover whether I can sing.
You can sing, yeah.
That is a divine number one. I got an opportunity to exercise what I'm good in, right?
Ukapewa platform because pastors kids by default mnakuanga kwa praise and worship.
Obviously.
Default. Yo by the way, hata hakuna kunegotiate hapo.
Hakuna kunegotiate. Hata kama sauti yako haiko utaimba.
I know. I have sisters na najua tu hawana sauti, but sasa niliwapata tu hapo kwa pulpit. Lazima ikuwe tu hivyo. Yeah, because when the pastors are beginning a church, hakunanga members, inakuanga ni wewe na familia yako. So inabidi tu uende tu kwe.
Exactly. You don't have an alternative to
that's
do.
True,
you'll be in worship team.
Yeah.
You'll be the one coordinating the Sunday school.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll be all over. So that's one of the advantages we get. We are able to exercise what you've gifted him. Number two, I'll say that one of the things that we get opportunity to meet new people.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
There's the same way that stereotypes negatively affect us, the same way stereotypes affect us positively. Because obviously there are places that you don't expect me to go. So if I go there by mistake and like, you on that place, so and you are back again.
Yeah.
So also we find we enjoy opportunities based on the men that our parents know.
That's
so
true.
That there is that vastness in the things of God. Now I'll also quote this thing. I think in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, 3-5, Solomon is talking and he said that he did not ask for wisdom just because he was excited wisdom. He said that he watched his father work in wisdom. So some of the things we work in, we have seen them work in our parents. And so we have learned this thing.
For the virtue that we have seen them and we have experienced them at the first,
Yeah, so if we have seen this thing in our parents, then they become so easily for us to be very precise and accurate on the things we are asking for. And also there are battles. I remember also I remember Solomon also saying that he is able to build a church for God because there is no more war. David fought all the wars. We don't fight.
There are demons that we don't fight by the way. That's true because
that's open.
Already
there are things we don't
there
fight.
There are altars we cannot fight.
That's one of the advantages we have.
you love
things we
most.
don't battle with. Our fathers
that's
dealt with them.
Yeah, that's
And so we just walk into the fullness
Yeah.
of
And
and the blessings that
unaenjoy
our
too.
parents
Unaenjoy too
exactly.
because of that fact.
Yeah, tunafurahia what our
that's true.
fathers and our parents labored for.
Wow, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
So we have come to the end of the show. Thank you very much, Edwin, for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate your presence.
Yeah.
And we'll have you sometime back
Wow, thank you.
as a singer, because you've said that you're a singer.
Wow.
Right?
Right.
Thank you so much. So thank you everyone for viewing, and thank you very much for watching us. This was the first episode of Into the Life of a PK Show with Oganyu Mbere. Till next time, bye bye.